This video is for brow and lash tinting, and we're going to start as if we just arrived to work. So the first thing that we do is that we're going to wash our hands. So you're going to go to the sink and you're going to find liquid hand soap. You're going to wet your hands underneath the water, get that coin size of liquid hand soap, and you're going to wash your hands together down to your wrists. You're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. You're going to wash your fingers and the backs of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash between your fingers and between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your thumbs. You're going to wash your wrists. And you're going to do all of that interlocking cleanse for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. Then you'll thoroughly rinse your hands underneath the water. When you feel like you've gotten a good proper rinse, you'll either get a clean towel or disposable paper towels. You're going to turn the faucet off with the towels. Completely dry those hands, so paper towels can go in the trash. The dirty towel can go in a closed container until time to be laundered. And then you're going to get your 70% ethyl alcohol hand sanitizer and sanitize your hands. And once you've done that, it'll be time to get your room ready for your appointment. So we're just going to review what we need to do to get your appointment done or set up. So to prepare, you need to disinfect your workstation, the bed, and the equipment using a disinfectant wipe following manufacturer's instructions. You will check equipment to ensure that all devices are in safe working order and plugged into a working receptacle. You'll gather clean supplies needed for the lash and brow tint service, storing in a clean, closed container. You're going to dispense products needed for the service according to the client's desired shade for brows and lashes, and you're going to mix according to manufacturer's directions. You will prepare disposable portion cups for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup tray, or remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula, close the lid to the product, and set the portion cup tray on the tray. You'll drape your facial bed using one fitted sheet, one flat sheet, and 3 towels. You'll place clean laundered sheets down on the disinfected facial bed, placing a towel horizontally at the head of the bed. Lay a hairnet and headband on top of the first towel along with a roll towel to support the head and neck of the client, and save the third towel to lay across the client's décolleté. Or you can use disposable table paper to drape the bed. So you've got your bed set up, everything's disinfected, and I'm just going to show you my tray before we do the client consultation part. So my tray is set up. I have cotton rounds, I have 2x2s and 4x4s. I have some water, I have a brush to apply my tint to the brows. Of course, I have my disposable iPads. I have makeup remover. I have a barrier cream, which would be something like petroleum jelly. I have my color cream and my developer. I have disposable mascara wands to apply my color to the lashes, my tint to the lashes. I have wooden Q-tips. I have a pair of disposable gloves, of course, because you have to wear gloves to perform this service. So everything is set up. The only thing that I can't do ahead of time is mix the tint because I don't know what color she's going for. So we're going to do that after we get her comfortable. It's time for me to go and do my client consultation, and I'm always going to be doing my client consultations with clean hands. So I just washed my hands when I was disinfecting the room. I'm going to wash them again before I perform the service, but just so you know, when I'm approaching the client, I've got clean hands. So let's talk about the client consultation part of this service. So we're going to greet our client and escort them to the work area. We will determine the client's preferences and assess the client's needs. We will assess the client's skin by performing a skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation, for example, lice, to prevent from safely performing the service. We will assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours, and we're going to consult on any known allergies. We will consult with the client on facial surgeries within the last 3 months and if the client's under a physician's care. We'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We'll assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. We will assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. And if the client is free from the above contraindications, we can move forward with the service. And fortunately, they are. So we are able to move forward with her brow and lash tint. So let's get her comfortable before we wash our hands. So what we're going to do is, she doesn't have to disrobe for this service, so she's going to lay down on the facial bed under the sheet. And then we are going to take this rolled towel and place it underneath her neck for comfort. And we're going to go ahead and put on her hairnet. And that's going to keep her hair away from her brows or lashes. Then we've got another towel here that we are going to completely drape. You're going to want to make sure that you take this all the way up, so you would cover up clothing or skin. You just don't want any tint or anything to get on that. Let me move back to make sure that you can see her best. And then we will be ready to wash our hands. So what we're going to do is wash, and then we can go ahead and mix her tint. She's decided to go with a black. She likes a very defined look for her brows and her lashes. So we think that's great. So what we're going to do is wet our hands at the sink, get that liquid hand soap coin size, and we're going to wash our hands together down to the wrists. We are going to wash the back of our hands down to the wrists. We're going to wash our fingers, and we're going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash between our fingers and between our fingers and our thumbs. We're going to wash our fingernails and the fingertips rather, and nails of both hands. We're going to wash our thumbs, and we're going to wash our wrists. All of that interlocking, cleanse for a good 20 to 30 seconds minimum. And then you can thoroughly rinse everything underneath the sink. And then you want to find disposable paper towels or a clean towel when you have finished rinsing to turn off the faucet. Then you're going to completely dry your hands. So if you use disposable paper towels, you can toss them. If you use a clean towel, it's now dirty and you need to put it in a closed container until laundry. And then you're going to get your hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol, and you're going to sanitize the hands, making sure they get good and dry because you have to put your gloves on. So it's very difficult to put gloves on wet hands. Make sure you get those hands dry before you try. And then you're going to put on your disposable gloves. And once you do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cotton rounds with makeup remover on them and place them on her eyes, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix up her tint. So we've got some makeup remover here on these cotton rounds. And then we've got our color cream and we've got our developers. So you're going to follow manufacturer's directions, but for this we're going to say 3/4 of an inch of the color cream with 2 to 4 drops of the developer. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to mix it up so that it can process and be ready for tinting while I am removing her makeup and putting on iPads and all that good stuff. So it is ready to sit and process, and we're going to go ahead and remove her brow makeup first. So I'm just going to take 2x2s with a little bit of makeup remover here. And I'm going to start removing anything that might be on the brow, going in the direction of the hair growth. So like makeup, eye cream, SPF, anything that you fill the brow in with. And I'm going to go back in the opposite direction, like a brow pencil, a brow gel, shadow, all of that stuff, just taking a minute here to get it nice and clean. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and other brow. In the direction of the hair growth, and then in the opposite direction. If you need to do more than once, do it. She didn't have on a lot of makeup, so that's good. It didn't take me that much to do. So now I'm going to remove the eye makeup. I want to just make sure you get it nice and clean. And then what we want to do is I'm just going to dry everything off here real quick. And I'm going to apply now the barrier cream around the eyes and the brow. And I'm going to be using a wooden stick Q-tip to do this. Just so you know, I would be using, every time I go in this, I would be using a new Q-tip. But just for the sake of the video and the budget, we are going to use the same Q-tip, and this isn't a real client. Although I'm treating her as if she were a real client. I'm going to double dip. I would not be double dipping. Although that is a disposable cup I'm using that I'm going to be tossing here in just a minute. So, but I still just wanted to clarify that I would not be going back into this barrier cream. I would use a new one of these every time. And then I'm going to go around the brow, under the brow hair. And then above the brow hair. Just protecting the skin around the brow. And everything you do like this, you always avoid, you're avoiding eyes, you're avoiding nose, you're avoiding mouth, but we're not working down there, but just so you know, we're always really careful. And I'm throwing that away. So now we need to apply the eye pads. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And you're going to go up underneath the lower lash because we are tinting upper lashes and lower lashes. Now, one really special thing to note is that you will be doing both bottom lashes before you do the uppers, because once she closes her eyes, she can't reopen them. So you don't want to do one lower side, have her close her eyes, and then you'll be like, uh-oh, you can't do the other side. So make sure that you tell her and then you focus on that first. So I would say, Sue, I'm going to do both lashes, bottom lashes on both eyes first. So we're going to do that really quickly while you look up, and then you're going to get to close your eyes for the rest of the service. Just going to be like, okay. So we're going to check on our tint, which is ready. So we're going to get ready to go, and we're going to do both bottom lashes really quick. So I say, okay, Sue, go ahead and look up, and I'm going to do these both really quick. We're going to comb it on the bottom, 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 bottom. Perfect. Other side. Here we go. We're going to comb it on the bottom, 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 all the way across. Now you can close your eyes. And she's done. So now you have to just go back in and get your tint for the top lashes. And because she chose black, I'm going to be, obviously I would with anything, I'm going to be conscientious. She definitely wants it bold. I'm going to make sure that I coat and cover all of the lashes. So I'm just going to take my time here. Of course, I'm avoiding the eyelid, concentrating on the lashes. And I've got plenty of product on my brush, but if I need to, I'm going to come back and get some more. And then I'm going to get a little bit more for this side. So I feel pretty good about that evenly coated now. So I'm going to start and switch it on over to the other side. And I'm once again going to make that same conscientious effort to do just as much on both sides and to get a really good even coat. And I'm just really, once again, careful and conscientious to do what needs to be done. I'm going to get a little bit more. It's just important to, if we don't do it now and it's not right, she'll have to come back in a couple of days, and you don't want that. So let's get it all perfect right now. So I can see the tint as it's processing on this side. I'm going to add a little tiny bit more, which then will make me want to go ahead and add a little bit more to the other side too, because I see how this one's looking. So I'm going to just go ahead and add a little bit more on this side too while I'm at it, being extra cautious. Beautiful, looks great. So of course you will be following manufacturer's directions for all of this. So we're going to say for our video that our manufacturer's directions said that we are going to leave this tint on the lashes for 10 minutes. So we're not going to stay here waiting for 10 minutes, but you would set a 10-minute timer or whatever yours says. So we're just going to pretend like our time has elapsed, and we're going to go ahead and start removing the tint. So I'm going to start with a dry white first, and I'm just going to press and press really gently. Of course, remember all of this is super gentle. Anytime you're working around the eyes, We're cautious, we're gentle, we're easy. And as you get a good bit where you feel like that's good, you're going to slide the iPad off, having them keep their eyes closed, and you're going to throw that away. And then you're going to get a wet one, and you're going to go back with a damp wipe, and you're going to get all the rest of the tint off the eye with her eyes closed. And sometimes it might take 2 to 3 passes. That's okay. You will do what you need to do to get it off, and it really looks amazing. She's going to be really pleased with that tint. And then you are going to start on the other side. I'm starting with a little gentle dry press to get most of it off that way. And then I'm going to slide that pad out of the way to throw away. And then I'm going to get a damp. And I'm going to go in and get the rest of it off. And then if I need to, I'll go back again. I'm going to see what's going to happen here in just a minute. Looks really good. I'm just going to take a dry moment and wipe. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And I'm going to comb through her lashes with a excuse me, clean mascara wand with nothing on it, just to make them look really pretty and separate. And then I'm going to go up to her brow, and we're going to get started on applying that brow tint. So I've got my brush and I've got the tint, and I'm going to apply, and I'm going to start my application going in the direction of the hair growth. And I'm going to make sure that I really coat the brow hair, because once again, she's chosen black because she likes to see the frame, and she really wants it to be effective. So I'm going to make sure I coat all the brow hairs. So once again, I'm going in the direction of the hair growth first. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction against that hair growth pattern. So I get it all the way on every bit. I'm going to go to the other brow. And then I'm going to go against the hair growth pattern. And that looks good. And once again, you would be following, obviously, manufacturer's guidelines, and they are, for this video, we're going to say that for the brows, it would be 3 minutes. But for the sake of the video, we're not going to sit here for 3 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and remove the brow tint at this point. So I'm going to start drying. I'm going to be super gentle. And I'm being gentle, and I'm making sure that I am avoiding the eye area at all costs, as always. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. This may take 2 or 3 passes, as you know, so I'm going to do a damp one now. And that's great. Let's get the other side. Once again, very gentle. A little damp on this side. Just to make sure it's all good. Perfect. Let's dry it off. Everything looks so nice. She's going to love it. So at this point, you would want to, the great thing about this service is she doesn't have to disrobe or anything. So basically what you're going to do is you can remove her drape, you can take off her hairnet, and then she'll be ready to get up and get her things, and then you'll be able to escort her to the place that you check out. So make sure you remove and throw away your gloves because they're disposable. And you will take her out, escort her out, and you're going to get her checked out. And you're going to go over her maintenance and any kind of aftercare that she might need. Get her booked for her next appointment in salon. And she likes the black. She loves the service, so she definitely will want to make sure that she books on her timeline and gets it on there. So she's going to be happy to do that. And then you have appointments, so you've got to get back to your room and get ready. So you're tossing your gloves. So what you want to do is getting to your room, you're going to find any single-use items. They need to be discarded, all your throwaways, your gloves, everything, if you haven't already. You're going to want to make sure that you get your implements, put dirty implements, and put them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected. All the sheets and towels, all the bedding, you're going to place in a closed container until time to do the laundry. You will then make sure that you find an proper cleaning agent, read the manufacturer's directions, Follow the directions for mixing and usage, and then wipe down your workstation and area with cleaning solution to remove debris. You'll identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, and EPA approved for use in a salon setting. You're going to follow those directions, which means you're going to get another pair of disposable gloves because you have to wear gloves for this. And you're going to follow those directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You will disinfect electrical equipment, store it in a clean area separate from the other implements. And then you'll be able to take off the gloves, throw them in the trash, and it'll be time to wash your hands again. So you're going to wet your hands at the sink, get the liquid hand soap, coin size, and you're going to wash your hands down to your wrists. You're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. You're going to wash your fingers, and you're going to wash the back of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash between your fingers, and you're going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your thumbs, and you're going to wash your wrists. You're going to do all of that for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. And when you feel like you've really gotten everything clean, you're going to give it a proper rinse. Once you're rinsed off, find a clean towel or disposable paper towels. You're going to turn the water off with those towels. Dry your hands thoroughly. If it's paper towels, they go in the trash. If it's a clean towel, it now goes in that closed container with the dirty laundry to be laundered. And then you'll find your 70% ethyl alcohol, and you're going to hand sanitize to finish out. And then you'll be able to move forward to prepare and set up for your next client. So that concludes the video for brow and lash tint.